Welcome back. Today, I'm being joined by Mr. Afiz Ismaila, who is a political finance expert and a tax consultant, and we'll be talking about OBASA'S return in Lagos State. But first, let me welcome you to Global Morning, Mr. Afiz.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right. So, Mr. Afiz, let's even talk about OBASA'S case this morning. What are the potential consequences of OBASA'S return for the relationship between the Lagos State government and the legislature?
Well, first of all, when you look at Lagos State, the way Lagos State politics runs is different from the way politics runs in other states in Nigeria. We need to first establish that fact. Lagos State is a state whereby when decisions are taken, it's always been collective. And that is why you see that no sitting governor in Lagos will tell you, I can anoint a candidate. It has to be a collective decision. And that is also the reason why you will see that in Lagos State today, they have an internal mechanism that settles any issues whenever it comes on board, and which is the most powerful, which everybody know, the Governor Advisory Council, which for is also part of the political structure of APC that they are about. So, for me, the legislative have their own functions to do, and the executives also have their own functions to do. You recall that when this crisis happened, you will never see the executive interfering in it throughout the process upon the restatement of the Speaker of Right Honorable Obasa. So Lagos is a state where high level of decency. You have too much of intellectual people. You have too much of people who are even informed. Even though how would I put it? If organizer in Lagos State is informed about what is going on, so it's not a state that you can just come and just tell people this is what needs to be done. So there's an organized setting. But what I noticed that just because a key man is too busy now, he has a national assignment now, things like this happen.
By the key man, you mean the president?
Yes.
All right.
So what will happen if he's not available to meddle into the affairs of Lagos State again? Because whether we like it or not, the key man have to leave one day. That's just the reality. Then who takes over? So I see a potential issues, not even in 2027, probably in 2031, or let's say 10 years from now. Because I graduated from Lagos State University, and I was a strong student union leader while I was in the university. First, I'm a key man in my faculty of management sciences, which everybody believes to be the toughest faculty as far as last history is concerned, coupled with the father from accounting department. So I play union from my day one as an 100 level till I graduated. So I know what it is when you play politics in LASU. And anybody that play politics in LASU will know that for you to play politics in LASU, there's an extra credit to it. Now, the people who think are boys yesterday, as I speak to you now, they are men, and they are holding positions, and they are watching. So if care is not taken, the revolution can happen in the coming years. Not apart from that, now even though the core indigenes of Lagos State are warming up, that the areas where people who are not from Lagos will just take positions, we don't want to tolerate that anymore again. That one is also going on the sideline. And as I speak to you today, in the political space of Lagos, people that are even contesting, go and check, about 70% are last white, are people that graduated from LASU, to show that that unionism, that set of people who play unionism in LASU, is getting to a stage whereby they are really going to they will be in charge of the political affair of Lagos. And it's going to be a different ball game, because these are people that, that's why they are playing politics. As I speak to you today, they are role models. But I can give you an example. Oshinere Adewale is a doctor today. He was a speaker when I was in 100 level. No, 200 level. He's a doctor today in one of the Nigerian tertiary institutions. My co-colleague Ajasa Senapon, who happened to be my course mate, is a chartered accountant. He was a speaker, he's a chartered accountant, and is the MD of a microfinance bank. I can begin to mention like that we all play politics and we are holding good positions today. So we just say no, because then there's a belief that anybody that join unionism are touts, they are dropout, there are people that doesn't have anything upstairs. But I can tell you, majority of us are doing well as of today. So if care is not taken, the people that they think are boys yesterday, they are men today, and revolution can happen. So in Lagos, the legislative and the executive have their own different functions. This is a legislative matter, it's not an executive matter. So let's deal with it in the legislative way. Both of them have their own different agenda, and they have their own different constitutional responsibilities.
This is interesting. Now let's even look at this issue from the perspective of Lagosians right now. To a very large extent, Lagosians will say that their trusts have been betrayed because their representation, which the candidates that they want to represent them was taken out of the office, was forced to resign by GAC. But what do you make of the perspective of Lagosians right now? Do you think that at this point that Lagosians will want to give Obasa the confidence and also the support that will help him to pilot the affairs even in the house? Then secondly, what's your response? How will you react to the members of the house right now looking at Obasa, that they give him their total support? Do you think that also the house will want to give him a heads up in terms of the discharge of his duty as a speaker in the house without majority support of the house as it stands?
Thank you for that question. Let me first speak from the Lagosian aspect. All of us can be honorable. Somebody have to represent us, and the person represented is coming through a platform, which is the party. What has been demonstrated is that the party supremacy supersedes personal interest and decisions, whichever way we want to look at it, for us not to just go into details. That is what has actually played out. And that is why I'm praying that we get to a level where in Nigeria, our electoral act will be amended, where it will allow independent candidates to contest. Because the reality is that if the party is asking me to go and do something, to take a decision which I know that the people who gave me that mandate will not be happy, then, and I know that if I should play in line with my own people's mandate, I will have a proper recognition. Because the consequence is that if some of them doesn't downstone to the party, they may not get a return ticket. And I know in my mind that if I don't get a return ticket, I have alternative. I can contest as an independent candidate, and my people who knows that I stood for their own right, their own stand, they will definitely vote for me. These are things that can actually mitigate against this thing. I'll give one instance. The former chairman of my local government supported Ambody for a second bid. So when they were to carry out a re-election, he contested again for his second term. And whether I didn't see it, but that was the information I heard, that there was a directive that those that supported Ambody should not be returned as local government chairman. That was how he lost the primary election in his party. Imagine there was a provision for independent candidate, he would have contested as an independent candidate and he will win the election. I can bet it, because there are parameters to show that he was doing well and he has done well at that particular point in time. And that is one of the gaps I've seen in our political system in Nigeria. I'm so sure if you watch the day this the speaker was reinstated, you will notice that some honorables were not happy.
So that's why I'm even asking that at this point. Please go ahead.
They were not happy.
Yeah.
But the reality is that the party decision overrides personal interest, because they came to that house on a platform. That is just it. And there's nothing you and I can do about it. I came to, if the platform that brought me say do like this and I want to return, my brother, it's a selfish world, it's a selfish economy. I don't have a choice. That's why the fact I don't like it, but I have to do it. I remember
so unhappy. Okay, go ahead, please.
I remember Honorable Tobun of Epe constituency one, the kind of speech he gave on that day, you will know that actually something is wrong. You understand? They have been, see, what transpired in Lagos State House of Assembly shows that this honorable member have been stomaching a lot of things. They saw an opportunity and they utilized it. And that's why I advised the honorable speaker that whether he's going to resign or not, or he's still going to continue till the end of this current political tenure, he needs to look for a way to amend fences and to change the narrative. Not only within the house, also with the Goshen's too as well. Because there is a precedent on ground. You can't buy respect. You can't buy humility. You can't buy loyalty. You have to earn it. That is typical truth. You can only buy loyalty, respect from people that you are feeding. When I know I have a value in me, you have to earn my respect. Whether we like it or not, you know, right in OBASA being a speaker, there are some people who are benefiting either directly or indirectly.
True.
And they will never want him down. They will do everything possible to make sure he comes back. So even though the new speaker who was elected and he has to resign, as I speak to you, some people are not still happy. So there are consequences both in the positive side and the negative side. On the positive side, where there will be continuation in the legislative strategic plan, because the leadership is still there. But when you change the leadership, he or she will also come with his own vision. That's the negative angle of it. So for me, the Governor Advisory Council is something I respect so much, because why? They will not be constitutionally recognized, but it has made, in terms of political stability in Lagos State, we've been able to achieve for so many years. And I know it's because we have that kind of mechanism in place. Not that there are no issues. Issues used to happen, but early we yet it comes into a public domain, because they will have settled it in-house. That's why I said, because a key man is not around, we're able to hear this. If the key man was around, I'm so sure this would not even come to a public domain. It would have been settled in one way or the other. So I salute the tenacity of the Madam Speaker for dancing to the tune of the party, and also even though the House of Assembly members, for them to even have the courage to even take that step, to say no, we don't want this person. That alone, I salute their courage. Then the 4 other members too, who didn't join them too as well, I also salute their courage too as well, because everybody have everybody have their own rights and their own viewpoints. Like for me, this topic is a dicey topic for me, and I'll tell you why. From the 36 members who impeached the speaker, one of them is like a senior brother to me, representing my constituency. We dine and wine together at times when we are home for festive period. The other side, where we have 3 members joining the speaker, I have one person there who was my political mentor when I was in school. He taught me how to write political release. In fact, the first release I wrote in my life, he wrote it, he put his name, he later removed his name, he said, put your name and go and distribute it across the university campus then, the various samples. And that was why I began to shine. People begin to hear my name. Then I now started building on that, and I started writing political release. You see how dicey it is for me. But the reality, like I said, I salute the tenacity of the Madam Speaker for down to the tune of the party to bring out attention, and also the courage of the House of Assembly members to show that truly they are independent on their own. They don't just have to listen to anybody before they take decision. Whether we like it or not, a precedent has been sent that so person was impeached, and they took that decision within themselves. But for the speaker, for 36 to be against you, he needs to do more work. You know, you can't blame him. He joined, I think, since 2007.
Yeah.
So he has been there for so many years.
So many years.
When you know too much,
yeah,
and when you have too much of experience, it has its own consequence. Because there are times that you do some things unknowingly you won't know. And that is where God's grace comes to play, when you are too loaded in things. Because you'll be doing some things and you won't know that what you have done has wronged another person. And those are things I see, and that is where you now need to see how you can mend fences with his people. Because you are just like we're in seconds when we have class captain. And all of us say we don't want the class captain, and the teacher came and said no, this person must be class captain. Yeah. You know, from there you start losing your respect. Now how can he gain that recognition and that respect? is what it means, and that can also gain the recognition of Lagosian, because what we heard, because I didn't see any, it's an information, is that Madam Speaker will resign, Obasa will come back, then later Obasa will resign, and they will now elect a new speaker from is it West Lagos State or so. That is an information. I don't see any certified public document towards that part. In fact, as I just said, what I was even hearing when I make one of my findings is that Obasa resigning was not even part of the deal.
So invariably the rumors making around is this all a drama?
It's just a stage play. It's not a stage play. You know, that is when you need to respect elders. You know, when they are cutting tree in the bush, it's the elders that will know where it will fall.
Yeah.
Some of us, we are still learning. Some of us who wants to take over tomorrow, we are watching, and precedent is being set. Whether we like it or not, reference will be made back to the activity that is going on now. So the reality is that for all the people that are there, they should know that it's either they write their name in gold or they write their name in other features.
Yeah. So let's even, speaking of precedents, Lagos has always been known to be a center of excellence, where they set the standards and allow others to follow through. Right now we're seeing Lagos State Speaker allegedly being removed from office, and a body that is not recognized, you said is not recognized by the Constitution, has meddled into the affair, and by one way or the other, be it drama, we have Obasa returning back as the Speaker of Lagos State. This has become a stance right now. As it stands right now, this is the position of things. Looking again at the Nigerian political landscape, won't this send a negative signal and affect our nascent democracy as it stands right now?
You know, you've said something. You said Lagos State has a standard while others follows. You know, we can have constitution, fine. In my house, I can still come that apart from this constitution, for us to achieve a better result, let's also come up with some new rules. Is allowed. So whether Governor Advice Council is constitutionally recognized or not, Lagos State have seen it as a structure, as a system for bringing political stability. And whether we like it or not, from record, Lagos State policies have been stable for over the years. So let's remove the aspect of whether constitutionally recognized or not. It has been instrumental to the political development of Lagos State.
All right.
So we need to establish that fact. However, like I've said, we need to do something. What is that something? Let's have a situation whereby we can have an independent candidate. So even though, if this body is giving a directive, and I know that this directive will not augur well with the people that have put me there, I will follow the decision of my people. Yes or no?
True.
You can't blame on the people that are there that they have to stand, they have to follow the party decision. You can't, because that is the party that put them there. You can't buy the finger that fed you.
True.
You understand? No, we need to be diplomatic about this thing. You know, when I see some people talking anyhow, I say it's because you are not there. The reality is that if I'm right on Obasa too as well, and I was impeached like that, I would look for a way to come back. It's a selfish world, it's a selfish economy. Whether we like it or not, some people are benefiting from the fact that he's a speaker, either directly or indirectly. You don't think those people will be happy? You don't think they'll just look for things to just go like, no. The solution we need is, if it's possible, next election, let there be independent candidates. People like me can contest for Lagos State Governor. I don't need to go and be lying, prostrating for one old man somewhere and say, please, I need you to support me. All I need is that I should just put there, for you to be an independent candidate, you must have certain percentage of endorsements. If I can achieve it, I should be able to contest for governor, I should be able to contest for House of Assembly, I should be able to contest for any position of my choice. Nobody is too small to rule. It's all about experience and exposure. Holding a political office is not about age. I tell people, it's about your exposure, it's about your experience, it's about your capacity, it's about your courage, which is key. You can be old and you don't have the courage, but you can be small and you have the courage. I became the General Secretary of Faculty of Management Sciences at 300 level unopposed. It has never happened. It has never happened. I became the chairman of the committee of Lagos State University Student Union at 300 level, a standing committee. It has never happened in the history of LASU. Then. So it's not about age, it's about the courage. You have the courage. We need people that have courage to rule us. See what the president is doing. It's courage. Decisions that other presidents could not take, he took it from day one. He has not even stepped into as well. Subsidy is gone. What happened? Did they even fall? Heaven did not fall. It's about courage. So looking at the aspect of Lagosians, fine. The Lagosians will not be happy, but the reality is that party decision supersede any other decision. The party has taken a position, they just have to follow.
So we're setting a very good or negative political trajectory right now for the country to follow, because the center of excellence. So what are other states going to copy right now from Lagos?
Every state has its own dynamics. The way I run things in my house does not mean the way you must run things in your house. Like I say, Lagos is full of intellectuals, people who are well exposed. An ordinary organizer is well informed. Putting that mechanism in place has settled so many scores before now. That's why I said, just because a key man is not around, we are hearing. Do you know how many decisions, how many issues that have been settled that in previous years that we didn't even come to the public domain? That's why I said, if care is not taken, who takes over 10 years from now?
All right, Mr. Hafiz, let's come back to this Lagos State matter in itself. OBASA'S been on that seat for years.
Yeah, for more than 8 years.
Some of the allegations that have been leveled against him, first have not been investigated. Neither have we gotten a feedback from GAC, which is the Governor's Advisory Council. Lagos is full of intellectuals that can resolve issues, that can investigate issues, that can come to conclusions to an issue. But nothing has been said about OBASA'S issue, about alleged allegations that were leveled against him. Now, looking at all of this, and Lagos is supposed to be the center of excellence, are we not sending a negative light out there that Lagos is becoming the center of excellence right now, legislative wise, for irregularities?
Oga, you know, Nigeria, the more you look, the less you see.
Oh,
are you aware of that?
I'm hearing from you now.
Okay, the more you look, the less you see. The first thing is that Governor Advisory Council is not a EFCC or ICPC. It's just an internal mechanism.
But if it's an internal mechanism, and they are not subjecting OBASA to
well, you don't
legislative scrutiny. If Lagos State government not wanting that matter to be investigated upon?
No, the reality is that you and I don't know what is going on at the background.
Because it is an all-progressive Congress issue.
We don't know what is going on.
It's going to be swept under the carpet.
No, it's not going to be swept under the carpet. Okay. No. That's why I say you and I don't know what is going on at the background. You know, for security reasons, it's not all information we make public. You understand? But let's just keep watching. Because time will tell. Because whether we like it or not, it is already in the public domain that the person in question has been alleged of certain misconducts. So we have to keep watching. Because for me, I would like to say what I know. I won't like to say what I don't know. I have to say things I can beat my chest on. When somebody alleges you, does not mean you've done that thing. You understand? You have to prove your real that truly what you say I've done, truly I actually did it. The question is there any public document to say this person did this thing? You understand? So these are defining. So for me, like I said, the people there know what they are doing. With time, we will know exactly what is going on. 2027 is around the corner. And if care is not taken, and if things is not being put in proper perspective, with the way I'm seeing things, revolution can happen.
Okay, so let's even look at the injunction gotten from the court for first the reinstatement of OBASA and other things that followed after that process. Which, of course, we saw OBASA and literally 3 members of the Lagos State House of Assembly conducting plenary based on certain instructions. Now, looking at this and knowing fully well that majority of the House have spoken that they don't want Obasa. Yet Obasa returned
as speaker.
Doesn't this say again that the Lagos State judicial system has become a caricature to the growth of Nigerian political system?
No, judiciary is different from legislature.
Yeah, because I'm saying that at this point, more than 30 lawmakers have come out to say this is the speaker we want. And somebody goes to court because he was dissatisfied with the outcome of what his members of the House have said. And the court right now, because we're saying talking about Lagos State right now, because Lagos is the center of excellence. So the court gives its verdict that contradicts what the people have said as a standing rule that dictates the tune how to become a speaker of the House, of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Doesn't this again
with the
doesn't this Lagos is setting a precedent right now
that the speakers conducted with the four members? When they want to do preliminary, there are procedures. I'm not a lawyer, but from my little knowledge, the reality are there are procedures. The question would that stand? There are procedures. Notice must be given. You can't just conduct preliminary with just 4 members. You understand? Where notice being served, at that point, who was the legitimate speaker? Those are things we will check, we will look at. You understand?
But even for the start with, he went to the House. He was given full access. Security, what they call them, protocol 8 were restored. And at that point, he was given all the assistance that he needed. And he walked into the House, and he can even tell you to go out because he was assumed to be the speaker. Now this is coming from a legislative point of view that literally contradicts the standing rules of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Is Lagos not setting a system of a caricature of the judicial, of the democratic systems, and also making a caricature of the whole legislative proceedings?
I won't say so. You see, everybody will surely have their own way in doing one or two things. Like I told you, Honorable OBASA has been there for so many years, and whether you like it or not, you understand the internal mechanism of the House of Assembly. You understand a place that you've been for so many years. So the reality is that what is the legality of what he has done on that day? You understand? And whether you like it or not, that is have to be put under the carpet, because a new position, we have a new position now. Because the person who resigned was not forced to resign. He resigned voluntarily. And it's still the same member that also restated him back. So you see that is already under the carpet. When you are having battles, you have to be, and you are trying to win a battle, you'll be looking for various avenues to get out of that battlefield, which can be in different forms. What makes you a warrior is when you go to war and you come back. How you do it, nobody cares. So there are some things that even though intelligence will just make you to play around. For me, the question is, what is the legality of what has happened on that day? Does it really stand? Whether you like it or not, no matter how bad the Right Honorable OBASA could be, he will still have his own loyalists within that national that House of Assembly complex. There is no how. So those people can breach protocol for him to have his own way. Do you understand? We need to. I told you, I said it's a very dicey situation.
So again, I'm looking at it from another perspective. Will this again tear the Lagos State House of Assembly into two factions?
That would be very difficult. You know why? I'm a Yoruba boy, and respect is something that we don't play with. I came from a culture whereby even though you and your senior brother are having issues, and the junior one, the senior brother is the one that actually messed up, they will start the junior one to dobale for the senior one. So I came from
for non-Yoruba speaking people, dobale simply means to prostrate.
I came from that kind of culture. You understand? So what transpired is that we have people who came into this issue, like I heard of Olusegun Oshoba and Pabisa Akonde. No, these are elderly statesmen. They can't say A, while some people will say B is not possible. Respect have to be given to the others. You understand? And that is where you see that even to the other state, you will have been seeing placard. Why did there is a state? It will happen. Because that respect is still there. What is burning out? Let me tell you, it's something what is burning out. It's not that Right Honorable Obasa have that capacity to just state himself. What is literally burning out is just respect for elders, as far as I'm concerned. But if you look at the mathematics, it wouldn't have happened. It's just burning out of respect that no, this elder has spoken to me. I just have to take that decision. I remember when my mom and my dad normally have issues. When my dad will have make up his mind that my mom doesn't have to go. The moment some elders come and tell him, no, that decision, you have to reverse it. My father will still reverse that decision at the end of the day. So I came from that culture. So what is really burning out is, that is why I said, I salute the courage of the 36 members for taking that bold step and that decision. But
yeah, go ahead.
They still, respect is reciprocal. They still have to respect the supremacy of the party.
Well, speaking of being a Yoruba boy, like you've said, we've had instances where even in Yoruba states, we have factions, and to a very large extent, the respect syndrome wasn't able to amalgamate and be able to solve that lacuna, that vacuum.
We can't be the same. I told you.
So that of Lagos State right now, 36 people are saying we didn't want Obasa. 4 or 3 plus Obasa himself making it 4. He's saying we want Obasa.
And the party,
the majority have spoken. The minority now have their way.
Not that the minority have their way, is the party.
So the party had its way at the detriment of its party members.
Not at the detriment of the party, that is their position.
The position of the party at the detriment of taxpayers' funds in Lagos.
It's not about taxpayer fund, that is the internal mechanism that they are running.
The party's interest over the larger interests of Lagos State.
That is what I've said, Oga.
We've seen Sanwo-Olu coming out to support Miranda. I'm giving his consent.
No. Go ahead. Let us.
He acknowledged her as a speaker.
He acknowledged her as a speaker because the 36 member have nominated a new speaker.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
We shouldn't bring Sanwo-Olu into this matter.
We're going somewhere. We're going somewhere with the conversation.
Because he acknowledged the decision of the House of Assembly member, not that he supported.
Which is the majority.
Which is the majority
have spoken.
Who have spoken.
And the chief security officer of the state.
Yeah.
Right now, we have to acknowledge again Obasa based on court jurisdiction.
No. Obasa's statement, is he on court jurisdiction or it was the member that stated him?
First and foremost, we're looking at it from Obasa's mandate was not gotten directly from the members of the House of Lagos State House of Assembly first, because when we saw the first sitting, we didn't see Obasa having that urge. Yeah. So we're looking at it from this angle.
Okay, let's be honest with ourselves. If you look at will I say theoretically? I want to use theoretically and practically. Theoretically, it was restated by the same members, but practically they are not happy with that decision. So it's not the court, because the existing speaker resigned and he make a speech.
Before the resignation, as Obasa emerged as the speaker,
he wasn't the speaker.
But as Obasa head section at the plenary with 4 members before.
Like I said, we need to look at that one. Is a different topic entirely for the lawyers to handle. To what is the legality of what he has done?
Okay, so let's I understand. So let's come back and talk. What I'm saying this, what I'm heading to, because you are more of a finance person.
Yeah.
You are an expert in tax.
Yeah.
And all of this, and we're looking at this conversation from the perspective of taxpayers' funds.
Yes.
It's been allegedly abuse of office generally. Let's not go specific. Alleged abuse of office. That's one of the things the lawmakers are saying, and there's a general abuse of office by the Speaker, Right Honorable OBASA. Now, let's look at this conversation. We've talked so much about the party having supremacy, the party having this. Don't Lagosians at this point have a stand or have a right to know what actually transpired
in the allegation?
Yes, even on this matter. The investigation, does the party interest override the state mandate?
No, that is what I'm saying. You see, the allegation is a different ballgame. We have agencies that are saddled with responsibility to handle that.
Can Obasa be investigated when he's on the seat as a speaker?
Well, I'm not.
He needs to step aside for investigation to go on.
When you say somebody is alleged, you have not proved. You have not. He's not a criminal yet until you're able to prove beyond reasonable doubt. As you are seated here, somebody just give you an allegation. Would that mean you just leave your position? You have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. The question is that
by 37 members.
The question is that
36 members.
The question is that this allegation, has it been channeled to the appropriate agencies? You understand? It's just not just about many. We should just be talking. Have they channeled it? If I have something against you, and I know it's against the general public, I know where to write to. Is there any written document to say they've written to ICPC or EFCC to investigate this person? Okay, I need you to understand.
The carriers an oversight function. That's their proper responsibility.
Now, have they channeled it to the rights?
No, they carry the oversight function.
Yes.
And part of this function is every other person can be subjected to the house.
Yes.
Disciplinary committee. Yeah. And you cannot be disciplined while still at the end of affair, because it contradicts the rules of natural justice.
Yeah, I agree. So you have to step down.
You have to step down
for somebody to come up. Have they brought it up?
But I think that's one of the reasons why he was asked to step down initially.
Well, I didn't have that full information yet, so I can't really. But it was because when he was being impeached, he was not around and he was not at that sitting.
Over certain allegations.
No, it was not around, and
he was impeached over certain allegations.
No. I mean, when the day he was impeached,
he was impeached based on certain allegations.
That's what I'm saying. The reality is that we need to check. I knew allegation was made, but the basis of impeachment, all I hear is that a lot of things were going wrong, and we just have to have a new speaker. You understand? Definitely, for you to say have a new speaker, some things you must have one or two or three or four things to have, like say this is what this person was actually being done. But like I said, I think people know the due process to follow. If an investigation was being carried out that somebody have actually misused public funds, so you understand, I think we have the proper channel to go to. So the question is that have they done that? See, I need you to understand something. I'm not in support of Obasa. I just need to establish that fact. But I'm just being objective in my line of discussion.
Okay.
Objective in the sense that it's a selfish world, it's a selfish economy. And not that I'm actually being happy with what is going on. Like I told you, if care is not taken, I see revolution coming out in Lagos State in 5 to 10 years from now, because the people who were boys yesterday, they are now men today. Men today in the sense that there is capacity.
Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
So let's talk lastly before I let you go with this section. Let's talk about the I asked in terms of the tax payers funds in Lagos.
Yes.
Of course, you've been in Lagos and you were raised in Lagos, you schooled in Lagos.
All my
okay, so we can actually the Omonile of Lagos.
Not that I'm Omonile.
Okay, you are Omonile.
Not just I'm a priest. In fact,
you are Omonile of Lagos.
In fact, my king currently, Oba Kayode Ogunsanwo Folarin, is the coordinator of Southwest King in Nigeria.
Okay.
Which that is where I came from. So I'm a typical born and bred. As you know, when I say Lagos, I'm Lagos.
Okay, Lagos. Let's come back to you. So we'll add Hafiz Ismaila Lagos.
Lagos,
So,
yes.
all right. So let's look at it lastly before I let you go at this point. You think at this point that Lagosians don't deserve to know to see this investigation through, or to know what is going through? Is it fair to Lagosians?
What I'm even expecting is that I think there's a need for a press release.
Okay.
You understand? There's a need for a press release. People need to understand what is going on. You know, what we are just hearing is just merely information here and here. Press release from the legislative itself, press release from the Governor Advising Council. In fact, my expectation is that they should even tell us, they will not even tell us, they should educate people like us who are aiming to hold one position or the other in Lagos State or Nigeria today or tomorrow.
The boys that have become men.
Because the boys are now men. Yes, because the courage and the capacity is there.
Is there.
Most of us, we've built our CV, we've built our competencies for over years, and we feel that no, truly, we have that courage and capacity to hold position both at the state and federal level. Like, you know, I've mentioned so many names.
Yeah.
That we all play politics together. I think the Governor Advising Council need to come out publicly to watch themselves and give us a full download of what that transpired so far, the reason why OBASA should be reinstated, the risk involved, and why they have to take that decision so that risk doesn't crystallize. So that we can learn. You understand?
Yeah.
Because whether they like it or not, they have to live one day, and some of us have to feel their position. So that when in the future, when we are taking decision of critical issues, we will have a reference point, because a precedent has been set. That is my expectation. We need a press release who will outline the potential risk. If this person doesn't come back, these are the risks we envisage. And if this risk crystallized, these are the consequences it can have on the political structure and system of Lagos. You know, at that point, people like us will feel relieved. As of today, I'm not. You understand? That's why I said, not that I'm actually in support of Right Honorable OBASA or the other people, but I just have to be objective in my line of discussion, because Lagos is a state I know well, and I know what is going on, and I know what has happened in the past. But to still put in summary, I beg, if it's possible National Assembly can make this thing to happen, we need an independent candidate.
Well, I believe that the chairman of INEC is listening to you right now, and also the government is listening to you from all quarter. But time is fast spent. We have a lot to talk about even on this OBASA issue, but this is how far we can go. I want to say thank you so much, Hafiz Ismaila, for being a part of a Global Morning today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk more even on Global Morning. Please go know where the show continues.